Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the new Royal Enfield Classic, and if there's the Classic, there has to be a Honda somewhere or the other. I mean, that's one Honda there. Okay, anyways, coming to the bike, it is all freaking new. Yes, it's absolutely new. It is actually the Meteor underneath with the Classic design, and of course, it stays true to the original design of the Classic. Straight away, we're going to look at the front. It gets a clear lens headlight. RE is written right inside. Okay, everything is halogen on this bike. There is no LED. Pilot lights are placed right there. Now this one is the top variant, which is finished in sort of chrome. There are 5 variants on offer. The base variant gets single channel ABS. This one gets dual channel ABS. You see the front mudguard is also finished, or the fender, whatever you want to call it, is actually finished in chrome completely. And the disc size is the same as the Meteor. In fact, the chassis and the engine and almost everything is the same as the Meteor. But you know what? The Classic design really looks kick-ass if you're into those things. Okay, this is the engine. Chrome exhaust, of course, says Classic 350 right there. This actually opens and this thing actually sticks out here. It kind of sticks out, but they have this chrome finishing. This is to lock your knee as such, and there is chrome here as well. Now this is again from the Meteor. Chrome mirrors too. Again, everything is rounded from the headlight to the instrument cluster to even the mirrors. The instrument cluster is not that rounded as much as I made it out to be. Okay, the tail light is obviously rounded. The exhaust is really very long. The front tire size is actually 100 section. The rear is a 120 section, and the suspension is now thicker, of course. So they made quite a lot of changes to improve the riding dynamics of this particular motorcycle, which will come to in a bit. I'm just going to walk around so you can see this motorcycle very nicely. The seat is extremely comfortable. The grab rail is very functional. You can hold on wherever you feel like. The tank is also big enough, and the switchgear, it actually looks quite nice. In order to turn the motorcycle, it's very easy. It also gets a hazard light switch, which is kind of cool. Okay, now here, when you turn it on, it does a full swipe up. It gets a digital meter here. Now this says built with Google version, and it's actually showing you the clock. This actually is with the Tripper navigation, which works with Bluetooth with your phone, of course. Otherwise, it just shows you the clock. And there's a button right there, I button. You press this button to browse through the multi-information display. Twin trip meters, eco indicators giving me clock, and a fuel meter along with, of course, the odometer. All this information is available in the digital display, and you get a speedometer. For the very first time, you actually get a fuel meter on this bike, which is a revolutionary feature. Trust me on that. Anyways, coming to the mirrors, I think they could do a better job, but anyways, that's not the point. I kind of like the way this thing has been done. You know, the buttons have been done. That's kind of cool. The horn, yeah, actually quite loud. Turn on the motorcycle, very easy. There it rose to life, and we are going to rev the motor because that's what we do. Now I'm going to show you the light. That is the light. Yeah, do you think it is bright enough? Well, I certainly feel so. There, I'm just going to change the mode to show you that as well. The indicators could have been brighter for sure. Let's rev the motor once again so you can hear the engine. Oh my god, it sounds very refined. Yeah, baby, vibrations are there, but that's kind of the character. Let's start riding right away. Alright, you're all set to go. Turning on the motorcycle. First, I need to turn on the key, of course. There, it rose to life straight away into first gear, and off we go. Oh my goodness, this is actually feels so different than the older Classic for sure. First gear, almost 50 kilometers per hour, and we are coming to a corner. Let's see how this Classic fares. My goodness, I can't believe the Classic is so much more sure-footed now. There's no chassis flex like was the case earlier. So definitely they've made inroads in terms of the handling. This is because largely of the new frame, which is so much better. And the bike, I mean, it doesn't feel that heavy, although the weight is the same, I think 195 kgs. The engine is super smooth. It's so refined. This 349cc single cylinder motor is extremely refined. Produces 20.2 horsepower and 27 Newton meters of torque. But my goodness, the vibrations are so well contained. It's quite surprising to me. Okay, I can feel less of a thump as such, but motor is actually faster to rev than before. This is a completely different beast when compared to the old Classic 350. My goodness, Royal Enfield has actually done a fantabulous job in making this motorcycle. Around the corners, look, the grip levels are so nice. My goodness, now Dudhwalas are going to corner really hard and fast. You have to keep an eye for them. Jokes aside, this is so much better to ride. The engine, the smoothness, the ride, the refinement, everything is so much better. Only thing is, because of the soft suspension, if you try to jump a speed breaker, there's this kickback effect which comes to your back, so you have to be a little careful. And the mirrors, I think they're big enough and do a decent job of showing you what's around, but the mirrors can be seen when you're on full throttle as well. They don't vibrate the nuts out. My goodness, pinch me right now. What has happened? Royal Enfield has made an absolute improvement in terms of the bike. Brakes are also very sure-footed, good stopping power. Now the front is a 19 section, the rear is an 18 section. The front disc is a 300 unit, 300 mm. Rear is I think a 270 mm unit, and all the hardware on this bike actually stays true to the actual riding experience which you get, because everything feels so smooth, refined, and really very nice. Where the old classic 350 used to feel comfortable, you know, being ridden at 60 kilometers per hour, this one feels comfortable at 80 kilometers per hour. And this fuel tank I think is maybe 13 liters, yeah, and fuel economy is somewhere between 28 to 35 kilometers per liter. Although Royal Enfield claims 35 kilometers per liter, I believe it should give easily around that number when you ride insanely. Revving the motor. As always, low end is decent, actually good enough, but the mid range is where the surprising part is, because where there is the most punch. And then again, because it's a long stroke motor, it doesn't really have much in the top end as such. It doesn't need to, because this is not a bike you would like to push hard and fast. In fact, it achieves its top speed in 4th gear itself. It should do almost around 115 to 116 kilometers per hour around this. Okay, expansion joints hitting me hard, but around the corners, the newfound confidence of this bike is absolutely staggering. Here I am redlining the nuts at 80 kilometers per hour into the next gear. 4th will get you to your top speed, but the 5th, being an overdrive gear, is where you can actually ride with a relaxed feel and cruise at around 100 kilometers per hour. So yeah, this Royal Enfield 350, the new classic 350, is absolutely a step up from before. And you know, because it's got ABS, dual channel ABS, no tension of locking the tires, although usually that tension should never be there, considering that there is good amount of grip on offer, and this is not going to be ridden like a sports bike for sure. Now I feel the clutch is little on the harder side, not very hard, slightly on the harder side, but not much to complain about honestly, because yeah, you get used to it. The gearbox is also smooth shifting, and this bike actually attracts a lot of attention. People around are looking, because this is the new classic 350. Here we are on an incline. The motor still has grunt, enough grunt to pull hard and fast, and obviously it sounds good, but kind of lacks the thump of the older classic 350. Oh no, birdie, don't come in between. That was not a birdie, that was a crow. I am so enjoying this bike. Obviously there's a lot of wind blast, but you're not going to be doing speeds where you have to think about wind blast as such. But around the corners, I am so shocked, I'm so surprised. This bike, in spite of having a very soft suspension both at the front as well as the rear, doesn't flex as much. I mean, it doesn't feel uncomfortable, it doesn't tend to leave its line. Yeah, it is not a motorcycle which you like to corner hard or put your knee down, because if you try to do your knee down, you will do your bike down or helmet down and hand down and whatever down. For a Royal Enfield Classic or a bike of this category, very nice indeed. The handlebar also is on the heavier side for sure, but is light enough. And I'm saying all this after riding the Honda CB350 RS like 5 minutes back, which is better in terms of the riding feel and the performance and all that stuff. But Royal Enfield has dramatically reduced the gap between this bike and the competitors in terms of the overall fit, finish, refinement, engine performance, handling, ride, and all these things. I'm very surprised, although yes, you're going to end up paying a premium, because this bike is going to cost between 2.3 to 2.35 lakhs. So rather 2.2 to 2.35 lakhs. They're going to price it slightly below the highness, and the top variant will go near the RS, of course, from Honda, the CB350. But for the price, you are going to get something worth your money, and the vibrations are so well contained now. My goodness, insulation fantastic. I didn't know I would be using so many expletives in a Royal Enfield review. I remember the review I'd done earlier and people were like, you're roasting them, but that was a fact. But they have made great strides in improving almost everything on this bike, which is really worth appreciating here. Okay, yeah, now we're going to launch again and off we go. Earlier on Royal Enfield bikes, when you used to hit the red line, this thing used to vibrate so much you could not see the speedometer, you couldn't see the mirrors and all that stuff. None of those problems on this new bike. Oh my god, why do I sound so surprised? I've ridden the Meteor, I've ridden the Meteor, I said I've ridden the Meteor, okay, and that bike obviously feels so much better because of the new engine and of course the new cycle parts and whatnot. So big thumbs up from me for this motorcycle. I think Royal Enfield purists might be a little disappointed with the lack of vibrations. There are vibes which are there obviously, but the improvements, dramatic. And now this bike feels kind of complete, a lot of fun, and something which is going to sell in even hotter numbers. So guys, this is my vlog of the Royal Enfield Classic 350. I don't know what Dhanil is pointing at. हाँ क्या बारिश हो रही है ना? हाँ 2 मिनट भी नहीं हुए. Lol. I am surprised. I actually like the bike a lot. It's a dramatic improvement from before. I never expected it to be. Vibrations are not that much.
And now you became a Royal Enfield lover.
No, lovers wear ride better, ride further t-shirts. I don't wear that.
But I do not like this color. I'm sorry. It's
बारिश
very.
में मेरे को बुलाएंगे, बाइक चलानी है, सब करना है, सब करवाएंगे मेरे से, and then you'll put it on me.
And ऊपर से बाइक गिराने वाले भी थे, दोनों बाइक्स, along with your lover.
I am yet to shoot this.
And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for coming. Bye bye.